Hey there, friends. Nicole with True North Awakening, and I want to talk a little bit about the concept of grounding, more specifically, how we can ground into ourselves. I mentioned this on my TikTok a few weeks ago about this idea that constantly when people talk about grounding our energy, we are usually led through some sort of meditation or visualization where we need to ground and anchor our energy to the earth. And usually, I mean, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. However, like I said in that TikTok, it is not necessary to ground your energy into the earth. In fact, it is actually more desirable to learn how to ground your energy within yourself. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what it means to actually ground your energy anyway, and how you can ground your energy within yourself, and at least how I do it. So the first thing is, before we get too into anything, I want to define what we mean by grounding our energy. So this idea of grounding your energy is just a fancy way of simply saying, how do you keep your energy calm, stable, and anchored? And we need to ground our energy for lots of reasons. If we're doing work or a ceremony or a ritual, grounding our energy helps us be able to stay present and keep the energetic container closed and focused on the intention that we're trying to achieve. And when you're just kind of going through your day or your life, grounding your energy is important so that you can be open to receiving intuitive guidance from your higher self, that you're able to act from a place of intuition rather than reaction, emotional reactiveness. Also, when you're grounded, you're able to open up your clair abilities or your psychic abilities and be able to receive that information. I think it's really important, though, to talk about the two different times you're going to want to ground your energy. The first time is what I mentioned earlier, when you're doing work. So if you are performing some type of ritual, ceremony, intuiting guidance, specifically working with certain energies, those are times where I am going to recommend that you want to ground your energy to a stabilizing force outside of yourself, like earth energy, or if you want to use like some kind of natural element. The reason being is that when you're doing work and you're trying to work with lots of different energies, you need something outside of yourself so that that will keep your energetic channel stabilized while you work with these different energies. But for just your daily life, just going about every day, when we talk about grounding and getting yourself back into your routine or going out to face the world, there's absolutely no reason that you can't ground your energy within yourself. So this is basically how I do it. The first thing is that when you're going to start grounding your energy, you're going to be working with your breath. So there are tons and tons of videos on YouTube that will lead you through some really great breath work exercises. But I recommend just finding something that is going to be very simple for you to follow and something that you can do in an instant, right? When you start to feel yourself kind of getting off balance, a lot of anxiety, or just strong emotions, how can you take in air and breathe it out so that you're going to be able to regulate your nervous system? Because if you think about it in general, how does nature ground us? Nature, trees, plants take in carbon dioxide, take in elements from our atmosphere and push it out. So they're all working with air as well. That's one of the reasons why we're able to ground them. So you can use the same principle. You can, I do a 3 by 3, which is really simple. So breathe in, hold in for 3, hold it, and then exhale for 3. Let me try that again. Inhale for 3, hold it for 3, and exhale for 3. Okay, so very simple. As you start to work with air, as you start to work with your breath, this naturally calms your nervous system down. If you've ever paid attention to when you're kind of knocked off or you're emotionally activated or triggered, your breathing is one of the first things that gets shallow. So to achieve the grounding piece, the stabilizing and the calming piece of this grounding exercise, you're going to want to work with your breath. Okay, so let's try that out together. Okay, so you can just go ahead and sit down, feel comfy, and we're going to do a 3 by 3 breath. So go ahead and inhale for 3. Hold it for 3. Now exhale for 3. Beautiful. So that's the first step to get to grounding yourself, is getting yourself calm and stabilized. And you can do that anytime you start to feel yourself, like I said, emotionally off kilter, or as you get ready to start your day and you're just practicing, you're just making grounding your energy a part of your practice. Okay, so now the second part of how you ground into yourself, and this is where we anchor. It's part of it is stabilizing the energy, but also anchoring your energy. And lots of people do it different ways. For me, I imagine my anchor point as my heart space, which, if again, makes so much sense, because if we just talked about working with air, we just talked about working with breath, our heart space is where our lungs are, right? So I imagine that when I'm starting to ground my energy, I'm pulling it into my heart space. And this is also where I'm going to emit it out to stabilize me. So this is kind of what it looks like. And then we're going to practice it together. So when I get ready to stabilize my energy as part of my grounding, I first call back my energy, and I imagine a heart stone, a stone that's in the middle of my heart space. And I imagine calling back my energy from all the places it could be. So all the people, places, times, dimensions, spaces where I've either given my energy away, and maybe I didn't want to, or I did a little bit too much, or people who have tried to take it from me, and I've allowed that. So I imagine little pieces of me, little pieces of my energy that have kind of been scattered around the multiverse, and I call them consciously through intention back to me to come back into this heart space, so that I am standing in all of my essence, so that my essence is completely whole and pure and complete. Then, just like we talked about with the breath, right? How you're recycling the energy, you're bringing something in and then you're pushing it out. I imagine that in my heart space, my energy is being alchemized. So after I've called it back to me, then I imagine it coming out, pushing out, and kind of weaving in this cocoon around me. So setting up my own field of my own energy. So that's anchoring, stabilizing, and protecting my energy around me. So then I'm kind of like walking around, basking in my own energetic aura. And I feel so energized because I have all of my energy. It's staying with me. And the shield, the bond, the cocoon that I've weaved around myself is all full of my own essence, right? And if you want, if you're going into a space where you feel like you need extra protection or shielding or things like that, you can obviously call in members of your spirit team, your ancestors, the archangels, anyone else, to help fortify that little cocoon that you've made of yourself. So let's just practice that piece together, okay? So imagine, if you will, in your heart space. For me, I like to imagine a crystal or a heart stone that I know that I have there. But if you don't feel, if that doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. Just imagine kind of like a little vortex in the middle of your heart, okay? And then I want you to consciously affirm now. I call back my energy to me from all people, places, and things, and from all times, spaces, and dimensions. And what we're saying to this is we're really just acknowledging the fact that sometimes we overgive of ourselves and it leaves us depleted. And we are reaffirming to the universe that we are a divine sovereign being and that we are bringing all of this energy back into ourselves. So now imagine all of these rays now coming into the center of your heart. And if you can, think of a color. What color do you see now? The color that's showing up for you in this moment is the color of your energy. So now feel your heart space expanding, feel it getting full of all of your beautiful, beautiful essence in that color. And then consciously, with your will, push your energy out and form a beautiful cocoon around yourself. It could be like a bubble, it could be in the like a balloon. Or if you're like me, you imagine it weaving around. Okay. And if you feel the need to like move your hands, that's also fine. That is you working with your own energy. Okay. And then go ahead and just take one more deep breath in and relax into that. And simply, that is how you ground into yourself. So again, anytime you feel the need to ground your energy, meaning that you've been thrown off or you just kind of want to start your day in an emotionally balanced place, you do not need anything else but yourself. You can ground your energy within you. Let me know how this works.